Hey guys, this is a build order video for the Byzantines. Um, let's go caster mode. And so I'm just gonna do a quick description of it. The idea with the Byzantines is to play it similar to the Mongols. You don't really have any inert or innate bonuses to your production or your water. So going for strictly water as Byzantines can feel a little bit rough. What you do have is a 10% bonus with your villager gather rate, and that will help you get basically an extra villager. The Mongol Uvu is basically an extra villager worth of resource, or two extra villagers worth of resource gathering. So that's kind of how they outscale people so early and able to dominate. And the Byzantines are actually able to put similar numbers. They're only a couple of spear behind. And the big thing is with the Byzantines, why you actually can kind of do this build compared to other civs, is because you have cheaper spearmen. The limit to not cost 10 less wood, so it's easier to get your infrastructure up. One thing that the Mongols don't have to do is get any infrastructure up. And the second thing is that the limit to not have 10 more health. So that helps you kind of scale in terms of the numbers and stuff. Excuse me. I just had to get a drink. So that being said, the build order, immediately you grab your fields, queue them onto a tree, and then we're going to grab two of these and build a barracks. A little bit late there. Then I'm going to grab one of them, send it to sheep, rallying onto sheep. This villager then I'm going to queue onto a cistern. I'm sending my scout to middle. We want to try to catch the villagers, see if he's going to build a dock. On hybrid maps like Boulder Bay, like Mongolian Heights, there's always someone sending the dock here, and we see his villager here. So we don't know if he's going up or down. We just assume, he's probably going to build somewhere around here. So we're going to head down south. If we look at his vision, he's going up north. So barracks finishes. The first drop off of wood, I pull one of my villagers to go collect food. On the second drop off of wood, I got two villagers and I build a house. And then I shift queue these to collect the straggler trees. This just kind of helps because sometimes there's a wood line and a straight tree nearby and they go running off. Drop my cistern, try to catch my gold on the cistern buff. Do my best to split into quadrants. Sometimes I'm a little bit off here, so that's okay. Not end of the world. And we're rallying onto food. Oops, should have this like this until we get up to 8. First spearman is coming out, and the timing is really tight on getting this house to not get housed. So it's really important that you get that properly. Then we're looking at our vision here. Scout is just running around collecting sheep. And we're looking, so we just assume that he went north, and we get lucky and he sees that we see that he's right here. So the first thing you want to do is go after his villager. Back at home, we're up to 8 now, and so typically here is when I want to transition to wood. I like to go 8-4 and then back on to food till I hit about 10-11, and then go back on the wood from there. So we're able to pick up this villager, which is a pretty big deal. Try to always aggro this field and stick onto it. Sometimes this villager, especially if you're playing Abbasid against Abbasid, they will go run around with that villager. And it just kind of depends on the map and how you want to play it. Like, for example, Boulder Bay, instead of going up to 9 on food, I go 8-4, and then I send a villager to go build a dock. And all the while, I'm constantly building spearmen. Then this one, we varied it a little bit because I really wanted just to focus on getting out spearmen. I didn't feel like I really needed an early dock to get the shorefish as important as securing this burn down. And then macroing onto that. I wanted to be able to micro a little bit, so he does able to save that fishing ship. Kind of depending on you, what you want to do here in terms of burning down. If you look at his vision, he's gone back to base, and he's just microing around here, so nothing to see really. Sometimes they'll just go and build a second dock or whatever. So I'm over macroed onto food here, so I'll definitely mess up here. You don't want to go on 12. Just go like 10 or 11. That's plenty, and you should be macroing onto wood from there. Because I should have a dock up right now. I should start building my dock up right now. So, and I also didn't get perfect timing with my production because at 3:30 mark I should be sitting on almost 8 spearmen. So a little bit mess up in the build order, but it definitely happens. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much the build. And from here, you just play a standard, right? You go aggression with these limited. You can sacrifice these limited to prevent an age up. On like an a 3D meditation gardens or a barbican or a Kremlin drop, anything that's could be a forward landmark drop. You can harass their gold behind this. There's a lot of things you can do. What you see though, after I scout with my scout, I really focus on really scouting this river a full length again. Inside of my opponent's base. Almost catch this scout here. A little bit. Almost close. Our opponent isn't reacting perhaps the best. He's just gonna play inside of his base now. Just means he just loses 150 plus 150, almost like 400 resources losing, which is significant. It'd be similar to me losing all of these, which I'm gonna go do. So don't do what I do. But yeah, that's pretty much the build order from here. We are dropping a dock, but you can see it's a minute and a half later than we can. So it's really important. We'll go back and we'll do a quick variation of this build on Boulder Bay against AI, so you guys can kind of see what it looks like done properly. We'll just speed this up, just to give you guys an example of like kind of what you can do behind this. You just macro on the gold, and we just decide to dive here. He doesn't react, you see, but even if he did react, the idea with the cutoff route, diving under TC, is to be able to shank a couple of vills here and be able to get a couple of vill kills. Or one vill kill. Lose all of those guys, so it's probably not worth it, but it's just something you can do. Again, over here we do find his villager, drops another dock, we're able to snipe his vill. And we're going to start burning down, and this is why you don't throw away all the spearmen, because really what you want to use the spearmen is to screen the entirety of the river or the waterfront and burn down any incoming docks. So that's pretty much it for this build. There isn't much besides that. Like on this, he ages up, we're on the process of aging up, we're slow aging up with only 4. Then we're dropping another barracks, just dropping infrastructure, dropping our cisterns. So there's a lot you can do there behind this, because you'll get your second cistern basically for free doing this build a lot earlier than when I actually dropped it. So it helps you get that buff up sooner. So we'll change this map real quick on the Boulder Bay. Together overview, game mode, micro, standard, concealed. Okay, well, we'll go Byzantines. So we'll just do a quick example of the build, just so you guys can see it again. This time we'll do it with emphasis on getting that second dock up. So basically 4 on everyone on wood, 2 build up barracks, 1 will go build, or 1 will go get the sheep, the 1 building the cistern, and then the 1 who builds the cistern, or I'm sorry, the 1 who builds the barracks builds the cistern and then gather sheep. And behind that, those 4 that are initially chopping the wood, 1 after 1 drop off goes on to food, 2 on the second drop off build a house, and then it's just rallying onto food until you hit 8, and then 1 onto wood, and then 1 to the dock, and then back onto food till you hit 10 or 11. I like to do 10 because the villager on the dock will start fishing for you, and then from there you rally onto wood till you're about 8, and then onto gold. Get my TC, grab 2 vills, get this, always send your scout to the middle. You go grab over here. Where's my gold at? Over here. We're going to split this in quadrants, and then we'll go into here. I'm gonna keep 2 more vills. You're gonna need that extra one. I like to control group that 1 vill. Check my wood on my tooltip. Okay, he's finished, and then I switch this to like this. There's the water over here. Let's get this rallied over here. And on Boulder Bay. I find the water, find the sacred site, try to find the water, and then cut off their middle over here. You usually run to scout, and you'll kind of know if you'll be able to take that side or no. Get at this. Because sometimes you'll see a scout and you won't be able to take their side of this. You have to just stay on your side, which is fine. So now your first Limitana is producing. That's like the 1 minute 7, 1 minute 10 mark. And we'll just come back here. This is pretty important that you get back in time with this first scout, because you're definitely going to need these sheep. Again, we're just rallying. And let's just head back now, because we got to get here in time. Okay, get your second Limitana in queue. There we go. Okay, come here. Drop this. We'll just scout over here. So this is the idea. And then you come over here and start raiding. You find this. We now have an 8-4 split, and we're going to send 1 villager over here. And usually right around here is when you start burning, or dealing with this villager. I like to rally onto there. This villager's heading over, and I'm going to rally back onto food. This villager's going to come over here to our side where we're going to build this. And then keep building Limitana through here. You have to be pretty attentive of when you can build these, when you can't. And then make sure you switch your control group here. You will need a house. This. Villagers still showing up. We got a little bit of time. There you go. So you can see how the timing on this is a little bit tight, but the dock is starting pre-3:30. We've got 11 on food right now, so it's a little bit more than I'd like, but it's okay. I'm gonna rally onto wood. Let's rally down here. This villager will build a lumber camp. And you can see we're having a decent mass of Limitana. And now we can start rallying ships shortly. Again, we're still focusing here. The idea is just to have the ships ready to go. This is why we shift queue. Use vills. So this works really well against pretty much every civ. The only civ that you're going to have issues with is going to be against like Mongols, and then against Rus you just never do this because it's Rus and they get their ships out and there's nothing you can do about it. The only, maybe you do it against Rus just to get the burn down, and then you don't have to worry about like the further ships coming out. But again, it's pretty risky. It's kind of tough to say if it's actually worth ever doing against Rus. And so that's the thing. Behind this, you can basically just constantly produce. If the Mongol player is still playing at this stage in the game, like if you are playing against Mongol, against every other civ, you'll be fine in terms of your size of your army. Against Mongols, it'll be dicey and you'll have to micro properly. Um, and the one thing too is their dock comes up later, so you might actually have to fully deny that dock if they go for the dock. They usually go for the tower rush or like the barracks rush, just like this build. So this is you kind of have to survive to a certain point, basically, and then you can outpush and outscale them. You'll have a better military than they will. Against Mongols, I think the idea is just to vary your build over slightly and go a little bit lighter on wood and go heavier on food. So you can basically, instead of pulling one villager at the start from this initial 4, you pull 2 and have an extra villager macroed onto food because you're going to need it to produce your limit to night mass faster, because that's kind of the key. So that's just the idea here. You're just constantly producing. And another thing too is wherever your assist, like one big thing here that's affecting is my limit to night making in 17 seconds since I've missing 20% production speed. So if you wherever you drop your barracks, try not just to drop it wherever. Try to find on the mini map, if you don't see the gold on initially, where's the gold, and drop your barracks on that side so you can get its cistern buff. And then you just grab 4 vills or whatever and just age up. Hippodrome, winery, whatever, depends on the game state. If you think you're going to be better off getting mercs out and scaling into a little bit longer game, that's fine. But I personally think Hippodrome would be the move because they're going to make archers. They should, molasses will age up before you, unless they're like going dark age just like you. And yeah, you're going to need a horseman to push those back. So that's it for this build, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.